Hello again, everybody. It's me, Marcus, and I review stuff. Today I'm reviewing the song Cornerstone by the Arctic Monkeys. So, I've heard two songs by this band so far. She's Thunderstorms and Dance Little Liar. Liked both of them. Have listened to both of them again since reviewing them. They're pretty good. So, they've kind of caught my attention. And as well, I've seen a lot of people, once I kind of started reviewing those two songs, I've seen a lot of people really jump on and say, hey, you should listen to this one or that one. But a song that comes up a lot is this one here, Cornerstone. So of all the Arctic Monkeys requests that I've seen, even people who are requesting like more than one song, Cornerstone seems to always be in there. So seems to be one of their stronger songs. Really looking forward to this one. With that said, kind of high expectations going in, so fingers crossed that this song really stacks up to that. So, as I mentioned, this does come as a request. As always, if you would like to request something, just leave a comment down below, and I'll be sure to get to it eventually. My choosing system when it comes to picking what songs get reviewed is very nonsensical in the sense that I just write down songs that you guys request, and then I just pick one that I want to listen to. I mean, there's almost no rhyme or reason to it. It's literally just I pick what I feel like listening to that day. Sometimes I'm just not in the mood for certain things, or like if I know the artist enough to know their style, I'm like, I'm just not in the mood for that style today, so I won't review it that day, So my choosing ways are a little biased, but leave your comment anyway. I will still get to everything. I want to let you know if you have made a request. I completely plan on getting to it, just kind of in my own time. So yay. Anyway, let's listen to this one. This is Cornerstone, Arctic Monkeys. I'm excited.
I saw you in the battleship, but it was only a look-alike. She was nothing but a vision trick. Under the warning light, she was close enough to be your ghost. But my chances turned to toast when I asked her if I could call her your name. I thought I saw you in the rusty hook, huddled up in a wicker chair. I wandered over for a closer look and kissed whoever was sitting there. She was close and she held me very tightly till I asked awfully politely, please, can I call you her name? And I elongated my lift home. Yeah, I let him go the long way round. I smelt your scent on the seatbelt and kept my shortcuts to myself. I thought I saw you in the parrot's beak, messing with the smoke alarm. It was too loud for me to hear her speak, and she had a broken arm. It was close, so close that the walls were wet, and she wrote it out in letter sets. No, you can't call me her name. Tell me where's your hiding place. I'm worried I'll forget your face, and I've asked everyone. I'm beginning to think I imagined you all along. I elongated my lift home. Yeah, I let him go the long way call me anything you want.
That was a fun song. I loved that. I absolutely loved that. That might be my favorite one I've heard from them so far. I mean, not to take away from the other two I've heard. I actually like those songs as well. But man, that one was just so catchy. It's really groovy. I really loved it. A lot of good things to say about this one, guys. I actually can't wait to talk about it. But real poppy. I think when I say poppy, I definitely don't mean it as a bad thing. It was definitely more of a pop song, I think, based on what I've heard from them otherwise. But it also had this really folksy vibe that I really liked. It almost reminded me of like a classic, like Buffalo Springfield era like folk song, but with a modern twist, which I actually really enjoyed. Thought that was really cool of them to really show that sort of influence there. So really interested to break down the lyrics here, and I'm excited to talk about the instrumentation. Hopefully I keep it all up here until I'm done with the lyrics. So anyway, there is a tidbit of information here on Genius right before I read the lyrics. It says, Cornerstone is the 7th track of Arctic Monkeys' 2009 release Humbug and the second single to be released from the album. The song has a straightforward narrative. The narrator visits several different pubs and finds at each venue a woman who resembles the ex-lover he's pining for. Okay. He approaches the women. Okay, that explains a line that I think they're about to mention here. He approaches the women but is repeatedly turned away. When I asked her if I could call her your name. That's kind of weird, dude, but, I'm down with it. In an interview with NME, songwriter Alex Turner cited Cornerstone as one of the songs he's most happy with, saying, Cornerstone, maybe it's quite concise. This was reflected during Arctic Monkeys' 2018 tour, where Cornerstone was performed at almost every concert. So it remains a staple in their live concerts, it seems like. In an interview with Uncut Magazine, Turner shed some light on the writing process for Cornerstone, saying, I wrote Cornerstone one morning quite quickly. There's something to be said for writing in the morning. At other points in the day, you're a bit more defensive. I saw it as a challenge to write something in a major key, but that wasn't cheesy. Turner cites, I think he accomplished that. I don't think this song was cheesy at all, despite like its more bright tone. I really enjoyed it. Turner cites Yorkshire folk pop artist, folk pop, perfect, artist Jake Thackeray as an influence for Cornerstone. Thackeray is known for his humorous and often sexually bizarre songs, as well as his affected vocals. With that reference in mind, it's highly probable that the distinctive red polo neck sported by Turner in the music video. Okay, I don't care about the music video yet. I'm sure I'll go watch it later. Within the context of Humbug, Cornerstone is a musical diversion of sorts, thanks in part to its being written in a major key, a bright anomaly in a troupe of decidedly darker offerings. Okay, so the album is much more, I guess, dark than this song. This is really the poppy song on this album, but it was pleasant. I don't know if I would have known that other than reading this, obviously. But so with that context in mind, let's definitely take a look at the lyrics here. So, I thought I saw you in the battleship, but it was only a look-alike. She was nothing but a vision trick under the warning light. She was close enough to be your ghost, but my chances turned to toast. When I asked her if I could call her your name. That's kind of funny. I've had something like that happen to me in a sense where I could have sworn I saw my ex. I was like, holy shit. And then, but it wasn't like beautiful, I miss you. Or it was more like a what the fuck, sort of like what are you doing here moment. That I realized, okay, no, just very much a look-alike. But it's interesting that this guy's like not over. This is a song about not being over your ex. So in this case, I guess he walks into a pub, like it said, and he feels like he sees his ex, and he gets real. He gets very reminiscent, I guess, but then it was only a look-alike. It's just a girl who looks very similar. Or maybe he was seeing what he wanted to see, right? Because he says she was nothing but a vision trick under the warning light. She was close enough to be your ghost. I like that. So she did still look pretty close to what she was like, and maybe even her personality was as well. But my chances turned to toast when I asked her if you could call her your name. To be fair, like if a girl came up to me and said, "You look like my ex, can I call you X's name here?" I'd be like, no, sorry, I'm out. I ain't trying to fuck around with people who aren't over their ex yet. You know what I mean? So like, that's just me, and that's probably also this girl's experience as well. So yeah, I totally get it. Verse 2, I thought I saw you in the Rusty Hooks. Now this is a a different pub. So I guess the name of the pub was the Battleship. I wasn't sure what he meant by that at first. Okay, so goes to the Battleship pub or whatever. Thought he saw his ex. Now he goes to the Rusty Hook. Held it up in a wicker chair. I wandered over for a closer look and kissed whoever was sitting there. She was close and she held me very tightly till I asked awfully politely, please, can I call you her name? So again, he goes to this other pub, sees someone who reminds him very much so of his ex, just starts making out, and it's going somewhere. Then he's just like, can I call you my ex's name? And obviously that's where it just goes. So yeah, that's kind of funny. It is sort of a funny song to me, and I can see how it was talking about Jake Thackeray and his influence about the kind of sexually bizarre and humorous. This is kind of a humorous thing, just to think of this guy going from pub to pub, meeting these women who obviously reminded him of his ex and ruining it every time he says, "Hey, can I call you her name?" That would be really weird and kind of bizarre thing to happen. So I can see if that truly was one of his influences. I can really see that influence playing out here. So. And I elongated my lift home. Yeah, I let him go the long way around. I smelt your scent on the seatbelt and kept my shortcuts to myself. Interesting. And I elongated my lift home. Yeah, I let him go the long way around. I feel this is a metaphor for something, and I don't know. I smelt your scent on the seatbelt and kept my shortcuts to myself. I guess, actually, no, I don't know if it is a metaphor. I think it literally is that he smelled the scent that she would normally wear on the seatbelt, and so he's like, I want to stay in this car as long as I can, so I'm going to I know all the shortcuts to get to my house, I'm going to keep it to myself, let him go the long way. I thought I saw you in the Parrot's Beak, another pub, messing with the smoke alarm. It was too loud for me to hear her speak, and she had a broken arm. It was close, so close that the walls were wet. And she wrote it out in letricet. No, you can't call me her name. That's funny. Tell me, where's your hiding place? I'm worried I'll forget your face, and I've asked everyone. I'm beginning to think I imagined you all along. Oof. I elongated my lift home. Yeah, I let him go the long way around. I smelt your scent on the seatbelt and kept my shortcuts to myself. I saw your sister in the Cornerstone. I'm assuming another pub. I saw your sister in the Cornerstone on the phone to the middleman. When I saw that she was on her own, I thought she might understand. She was close. Well, you couldn't get much closer, she said. I'm really not supposed to, but yes, you can call me anything you want. Wow, that's interesting. I don't know, I actually kind of missed that part there at the end. So he sees his sister's ex, and hey, it ends up working out. And I like how he says she was close. Well, as close as you can get, right? They're blood. It's like, this is as close to my ex as I can get. And it's interesting that I guess he asked her out, and she's like, well, I probably shouldn't because, you dated my sister. But yeah, why not? And you can call me anything you want. So it seems like the sister's kind of fast and loose here with how she feels, or maybe just likes him that much. Like, yeah, you can call me my sister's names, which again, I think is kind of creepy. I would totally not be into that at all. Like if someone had dated my brother and said, hey, like, I liked your brother, can I call you him also, like his name, but date you? I'm like, no. I'm like, no, God, no, like, hell no. First of all, I would never date anybody who my brother's dated. Like, that's just, to me, that's just like a boundary that I'm not willing to cross. But at the same time, I'm just like, no, you're going to call me by my name, and that's about it. But at the same time, I think this is definitely played for laughs, sort of look at this kind of pathetic sack of shit type of thing. I don't think this is meant to be taken like this super serious love song or anything. I do think there is a humorous aspect to it, and I can really see how people would draw that influence there. And he cites the influence. So I can see where that influence is. Again, this is supposed to be a fun, kind of tongue-in-cheek song. So I think if you take it too seriously, it loses a lot of its meaning. So I just think it was a fun listen. Lyrically, it was a lot of fun to read and to think about and to laugh at. Because again, it's meant to be humorous. So even though I'm like, no, I would never do that. I am sort of talking about the serious aspect of it. It is still just a fun, humorous song, and I really like that about it. It's kind of refreshing, actually. I do love heavier, more intensive lyrics. We've listened to some music like that on this channel, and I always give those glowing reviews because I love poetic writing. I love that sort of deep, intellectual, heavy writing, but sometimes it's fun to just take a step back, get some hilarious, really interesting writing. This is still interesting to me. This is still just a lot of fun. Lyrically, I give it 2 thumbs up. I don't want to ramble on too much longer. Instrumentally, there was actually a lot here that I really liked. The guitar throughout was really enjoyable. There's some parts there where the bass would actually mimic the guitar, so the guitarist would hit like a riff, and then immediately after, the bassist would like hit the same riff, and so it made for a really just nice listen. It was like you just heard this riff on the guitar, and now you're hearing the same. You're hearing this riff on the guitar, and you're hearing this same one on the bass. It was just really enjoyable. I actually really liked that part of it. They didn't do it the whole song, but there were some parts where you could tell the bassist was mimicking that riff, and it was just really, really fun to listen to. Speaking of bass, I could hear the bass throughout, and I actually really enjoyed it. I thought the bassist here had a very strong showing. The drums were very good too, but the guitar really was a big part for me. They had some other instruments in the background. I think there was some organ there at the end, or at least something that sounded like an organ at the end. Just very well composed song. Like I said, maybe a little bit more poppy and folksy, but I think it really worked for this song, especially kind of being a funny song. It was just an interesting take on it. Instrumentally, I give it 2 thumbs up, and usually I talk about the vocals. This part, I totally skate over it. The guy sounds great, too. I don't know his name. Actually, was it Alex Turner, I'm assuming? But, yeah, he sounds good, too. He brings a lot of style, a lot of substance to this song as well. I think, many other artists could have done a song like this, but I think with his particular singing style, it really lended something to the song. Especially when you consider the lyrics and when you see what the instrumentation was doing. So vocally, I also give it 2 thumbs up. Vocally, instrumentally, 2 thumbs up. Thought it was fantastic. It was just a fun listen. Like, lyrics aside, it was worth the listen just for the instrumental parts, just for the singing to me. So kudos to them. Yeah, kudos to them for sure. As far as replay value goes, look, the other 2 Arctic Monkeys songs I've heard, She's Thunderstorms and Dance a Little Liar, they've made the playlist. They've gotten a few plays here and there. I will say they're not like an everyday band for me yet. They're not something I'm like, oh, let me go listen to some Arctic Monkeys. But this song is a step in the right direction. This one was very enjoyable, and I can see this kind of being the trigger that gets me maybe a little bit more into their music. I'm really excited to see what else they can do, because truly, She's Thunderstorms, this song, Cornerstone, and Dance a Little Liar, yes, they're from the same band, but they definitely had different moods, different styles in a sense. They're very different songs to me, and so I'm really interested to see the full versatility of this band, see what else they can do. So this could be it. This could be like the foot in the door for Arctic Monkeys for me, so we'll see how it goes. I've had plenty of more requests for their music. Oh, all that to say, 2 thumbs up for replay value. I'm listening to this one again. To me, this is the strongest song I've heard from them, and I definitely want to listen to it some more. But anyway, as I was saying, I've had a lot of requests for them. People really like this band, which I can see why. So, keep those requests coming. I will be getting to more Arctic Monkeys. You'll definitely see them again on the channel. But yeah, keep those requests coming if there's something that you haven't seen mentioned before that you want to hear me react to or what have you. But yeah, really excited to see more from them, hear more from them. If you want to support the artists, of course, go listen to their music wherever you can, preferably their official channels, pages, what have you. If you want to hear from them, you can check out my Spotify playlist. It's got every single song I've listened to so far on my channel, including this one. Hopefully, I get bad about like updating it from time to time, so like I'll be like a week behind or something like that. But yeah, it has just about every song I've listened to so far on my channel, as long as I've been updating it. So go check it out. It's in the description. It's a lot of fun. If you want to support me, just all the normal stuff you do on YouTube, like and subscribe and comment. All right, guys, that's it for me. Hope you're staying safe and healthy, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.